Hey friends, this is Benjamin J with Form and Function Salon Education, and today we are going to do another social engineering webcast. And this time I'm going to be covering Yelp.com. So I think that there's a lot of misconceptions about Yelp when it comes to what paid promotion gets you, who is using it, and why we would want to participate on it. Even personally speaking, I remember the first time we got a Yelp review and it was just kind of mediocre. And we were really upset by it. And we were like, oh, let's take it down. Let's get upset. And fast forward, the reality is that today for our salon, it's our number one tool for recruiting new guests. So what I really want to do is walk you through the steps of really how to embrace it and what you can be doing in order to have this be a very, very powerful business building tool for you and your salon. Okay, so if you've sat in or watched any of our other webcasts, you'll be familiar with this term. If not, there's something that we apply to all of our platforms, which is the 3 C's. So whether we're talking about Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or in this case Yelp, these same 3 C's all apply. All right, our first C is our content. And this is really what we say is what you share. But however, with Yelp, the main source of content for Yelp is what maybe our salon guests are sharing, right? It's their word of mouth, it's their reviews. It could even be their photos. So we're going to get into that a little bit, but content is everything that is being put out. The context is really the larger meaning, and I think that this is where Yelp has a really big advantage for us as salon entrepreneurs, if you will. We are sharing positive words, hopefully positive words, with people that are actively searching out for new salons or spas. And so the context is you're delivering basically the right message to the right people. So that is what I think builds into Yelp being so important for you. And in order to capitalize on it, this is where the last C comes in, which is commerce. One of the great mentors of mine that I look up to a lot is the wonderful Nina Kovner over at Passion Squared. And one of the things that she says is that we can't do hair online, but we can sell it. And I really do believe in that. Guys, we're never going to be able to download a haircut or stream a blowout. But the reality is that we can be promoting and having people do business with us, right? And more so than just promoting doing business with us, we can have them do business with us through online reservations, through gift card sales, through package purchases, right? So I think that it is really important, and we are a huge fan of setting up your website in order to be able to become a small e-commerce website, right? And online reservations are huge. So why would we even want to use Yelp in the first place? Well, believe it or not, Yelp is the 22nd most trafficked site in America. 1 out of 3 Americans use it, which I think is huge. Some people have never heard of it. I find that through my conversations and travels with people that it seems to be more of a urban tool, right? But it is the 22nd most trafficked site in America. We talk about word of mouth being the way to build business, and Yelp is word of mouth. It is giving consumers and our guests the ability to go out there, share their voice, share their experiences, and help people make a buying decision. All right. Beauty and fitness make up 9% of the reviews on Yelp, which is the 4th largest category. It's important for us to understand that people are actively using Yelp within our industry. This isn't something that only a few people use from time to time, or people that are on the outskirts of the majority of society. It is a major part of how people live their lives. I can tell you in my personal experience here in Chicago, Chicago's the 3rd largest city on Yelp. And so you don't go somewhere, whether it's a salon or a restaurant, or, I even checked it before I started going to my dry cleaners. You don't go somewhere without checking Yelp first just to see how it's going to be. And again, there are over 100 million unique visitors a month, which are all well-researched and smart individuals that are taking the time to figure out where they want to go before they go. All right, so that's all that's all great, right? That's a good intro into why we would want to use Yelp. But this is business. We want to talk about actual numbers. So one of the great things that Yelp does is it shows you activity. All right. So in this example, in the last 12 months, I have had 7,000 people look at our listing on Yelp. If I wasn't curating and taking care of the things that are on there, from our hours to our website to our phone number, right? Could you imagine how bad having the wrong impression to 7,000 people could be, right? That wouldn't leave a good taste in anybody's mouth. All right. Next up is customer leads. So customer lead is defined by Yelp as somebody that basically clicks through for more information. So maybe they called us, maybe they went to our website, maybe they looked for directions. So we've had 2,900 people in the last year that saw us, then clicked through to find out more information about us. Who wouldn't want to have 2,900 leads coming to their salon? But the last one is the one that I think is the most exciting. Yelp tries to project the amount of revenue that you are going to make based on the people that have been a customer lead for you. Now, certainly Yelp doesn't know the numbers of our personal business, but they're making an estimate based on industry averages. So they're saying that the average revenue per customer lead that is generated is $49. All right, so let's just work with that. So they're saying that in the last year, our salon has had an estimated revenue of $145,000 based on our Yelp listing. Now, I think that is amazing, right? And if that doesn't get you excited on why you should want to embrace Yelp, I don't know what else is going to push you over that edge, right? $145,000 is not chump change, right? I love Yelp, and I want you guys to be able to embrace it and have as much success with it as we have had, right? It's become our number one driver of new traffic in our salon. So let's go through how to use it. I will say, from this point forward, a lot of the information is very much geared towards people that are going to be in control of the Yelp listing. Right? So maybe it's a salon manager or owner. It does not work very well for multiple people to be using the platform, but there are some tips in there that I still have for people that aren't in a position to be controlling a Yelp page. All right, so let's go into how to use Yelp. First and foremost, you got to claim your page, which we'll walk through. You got to set up your info and your menu. There's no excuse for having information that is out of date or wrong, because it is up to you to be able to set that stuff. We're going to talk about sharing photos. We're going to talk about responding to customer feedback. And I'm going to give you some of my thoughts on Yelp advertising. All right, so for you to claim your page, right, when you find it, and I can almost guarantee you that your business is probably already on there, find your page on Yelp, and then through a certification process, they will verify that you are the owner or the manager, or that you have the authority to be making changes on your page. From there, you will get a new login, which is at biz.yelp.com, and that is where you'll be able to log in and find all of your activity. This is basically the hub for business owners. One thing that I want to point out right here is about your audience. All right, this shows you how many people viewed our website from a mobile device. Now, I spend a lot of time looking at salon websites. Some of them are not very good. And I think that it's partially a problem of some people seeing an industry that isn't always the most technically advanced and trying to take advantage of them. Right? Guys, I want you to have a great website. It's too important for you to have a lousy looking website when you do incredible hair in the salon. So what I want to encourage you is to set up a new website or refresh your site a little bit and make sure that it's working on mobile devices. See, this is what we call responsive design. Responsive design means that no matter what device somebody comes to view your website from, it will look good on that device. It'll be well laid out. We've all gone to websites that aren't optimized for mobile mobile devices and it looks really hard, you can't find the information, then inevitably you get out. More and more people are going to be using mobile devices like tablets and smartphones and things to get onto websites and find new businesses. So we have to make sure that your business looks great. If you have questions, send me an email at classes@ffsaloneducation.com and I'll point you in the right direction, or I can even help build something for you. All right. So going back to our activity page. All right. Let's jump into business information. All right. So through here, you're able to set up all the information for your business. We're going to go over specialties. We're going to go over the hours. We're going to have the general information. There's also areas in here for you to talk about history, meet the owners, or even include business recommendations if you have friends or maybe family that own a business in the area and you want to give them a little bit of props. All right? This is the information that is really important to make sure that you are fulfilling correctly. There's no reason that your web address should have a typo in it, then everybody's not clicking through, or that you have the wrong phone number listed, or anything like that. It's all up to you, so make sure that it looks good. Next up is our menu. Right? You still should have your menu posted on your actual website. Right? But I think that it's important, again, if our clients or potential guest list want to find us on Yelp, they're looking for this information already, just give it to them. Right? Fill out the information right there. And what's really kind of nice is when you have an area that is on your menu, you can designate a photo to represent that. So in this case, this is our wash house where we do all of our shampoo, so we got a really nice photo of our wash house there to let people see what that experience is going to be like. Which brings up a really important part of Yelp and content, again going back to one of our 3 C's, our content, which is photos. All right? You can look at our page here for our salon, and immediately you're greeted with these really nice images of our logo, myself, which is always a great image, and our front desk. But you'll see that there are 24 photos on our page that people can click through and see. We want to have a lot of photos, right? We want to have a lot of content on there so that people can get the best impression of us before they come in. And users are on 2.5 times longer when a page has photos. How awesome is that to know? If somebody's going to spend 2.5 times longer with us versus another salon that doesn't have photos, I bet you that they're going to end up coming to see us because they've invested more time. They've already started to make that connection. And when you invest more time, inevitably, you end up probably sticking with that investment, right? Because you've already mentally made your decision. So with photos, this is where you get to do that. In the Photos tab, you can upload as many as you want. You can manage your slideshow. You can move things up and down, move them around. I do think that it is important to have the salon logo as the first image, or the profile image, if you will. It's always, to me, the best way to connect with a business and make sure that you're clicking on the right one is have the logo present. And I also think that it's the best way for you to build your salon brand is make your logo recognizable and used over and over and over. Now, if you are not in a position to be a salon manager, you're not going to be able to get into the biz.yelp.com section, right? However, you can still upload photos, right? So if you have your mobile device, download the Yelp app and put up your own photos, right? It's something that I encourage our stylists to do, and as a result, they're able to share the work that they want to do. You know, if you guys are familiar with another gentleman on our education team, Mr. Christian Awesome, he loves doing men's work, so he's uploaded photos of his men's work so that then if there are guys going on to Yelp looking for a new stylist, looking for a place to get their hair done, they go through the photos, they see a few from Christian. Who are they going to go to? They're going to go see Christian. The main source of content on Yelp are reviews, right? They are reviews, and that's what people are looking for. They're looking for other people's experiences. They're trying to get feedback. So, a couple of things here about reviews. One is your ability to respond, right? It is important that no matter whether a guest is leaving you a positive or negative review, it's important for you to respond to that guest. right? If it's a great feedback, make sure you're thanking them, right? There's no reason that they need to take 5-10 minutes out of their day in order to write a review for you. But if they do, you really owe it to them to thank you. And it's going to give people the public image that you truly do care about your business, right? The other one is if you get a negative review. All right, let's imagine for a moment that we're looking for a business and we see that somebody has had a bad customer service experience, right? So they leave you like a 1 or 2 star review. But you see that the owner has commented and has reached out to that person and asked them for the opportunity to make it up to them. You would have much more respect for that business by seeing how much they care and that they truly are trying to make it right. I go through Yelp a lot and just I glance at reviews and I glance at other businesses to see how they're utilizing Yelp. And it's sometimes funny to see how bad the reactions are. When you have an owner that, somebody says, well, they didn't do my haircut right, and then the owner's responding with, well, you didn't know what you wanted when you came in, making the situation 10 times worse, because now you have potential people coming to Yelp and seeing this bad experience then multiplied by a poor reaction from the salon. One of the quotes that I like a lot is, the customer isn't always right, but they're never wrong. And so you really need to approach it from a standpoint of, we're going to make this right. And I actually think that sometimes it's a benefit to have bad word of mouth online, because again, you can turn that bad word of mouth into a great customer service experience by making it a good situation. Here is the ability to send a private message to people. So if somebody had a bad experience, what I would do is publicly comment and say, we are going to do our best to make this right for you. We're going to send you a message. And then I would take the way that we are going to make it better off of the public platform. Right? You don't want people to think that if they are going to comment and say, oh, I didn't like my haircut, that then you're going to give them a free haircut next time. Make that side private, but publicly respond and engage with it. And then if you really think that there is something wrong, right? Perhaps we had a situation where somebody actually wrote a bad review for the wrong salon. She didn't actually come to see us, so we flagged it. If you think that something might be malicious, where it's a fake review, you can flag it. But here's the thing, is some people think that people are just trying to like pull one over on Yelp. And I get that maybe there is a small amount of people that are trying to abuse the system, right? There always will be. But if you are consistently getting bad word of mouth over and over and over, that is not a problem with Yelp, it's a problem with your salon. And you really need to take a look in the mirror and try and figure out, why aren't more people raving about us as opposed to just people being disappointed with us. You see, Yelp, the best way to have a great online experience with Yelp is to give a tremendous offline experience. And so that's really the key here, is that if there is a ton of bad word of mouth, the natural reaction is to blame the platform. But really what you need to do is look at yourself and look at how your in-salon experience is going for your guests. Okay? Let's move on to advertising. We are a Yelp quote-unquote sponsor, which means that we have a paid page for our salon. Now, what you get with Yelp advertising is not the ability to remove reviews. I know that some people think that that's how it works, but it is not. What you are paying for is placement in a search. So if somebody were to type in hair salon Chicago, we might come up a little bit higher based on the ad package that we have for our salon. There are a few other benefits that I want to make you aware of. One is, on our page, we get to do this little advertising slideshow. And so as somebody is sitting on our page, these photos will slide by, right? They're automated as opposed to being static, where people have to click through them. Another thing that is really nice, and you guys can probably see the little play logo there over my face, is that Yelp's video team will come in and they will shoot a little promotional video for you. And then that just stays up on your page. So it's really nice. It's a high quality HD video that they come in, they sort of interview you a little bit, and it allows you to tell your story and showcase your salon a little bit more. This, I think, is actually one of my favorite parts, which is they call it a call to action button. I like this because I think it just emphasizes the point of needing a reservation or coming to get your hair done. And this is where the commerce side of our 3Cs comes in. Is if they are going to click this button, or if they're going to click through to our website, where do I want to send them? I want to send them to make a reservation. I don't want to send them to the menu page. I don't want to send them to look at blowouts. I want to send them to a place where they can make a reservation and do business with us. So again, you got to have this on your website. It's 2000, almost 15 at this point, and if we're still only allowing people to do business with us by calling, and then we're going to write it down on a pad of paper, that's old. You know, that you are behind. You're a dinosaur, right? You got to move forward. You got to get online, and you have to have a commerce side to your business if you're marketing yourself online. All right. They will also show you how many impressions you are getting for the money that you're spending per month. All right. So our package right now is costing $550 per month. I would say that we are getting that return on that investment. You guys saw earlier what our projected or estimated yearly revenue was. So I would say that we are getting the money back. My final thoughts on advertising are, if you already have a great listing, you have positive reviews, you're putting out the content with photos and things like that, I don't think that you have to be a Yelp sponsor. If you are just getting into Yelp and you have an area where maybe people are moving to your city or to your town and they're consistently looking for places, maybe you spend a couple or few $100s on it in order to promote your page a little bit just to get things going, right? But I don't think that if you have a great listing that you necessarily are going to need to boost it, all right? So those are my thoughts. Obviously, it's totally up to you, but that's just what I feel when it comes to advertising on Yelp. A lot of the key features are free, and so embrace free, right? I think that that's an awesome plan. So what now? All right, for you owners that are in a position to do this, go claim your page. All right, first and foremost, it's time to make it yours. Next, make sure that all the information is accurate, right? And fill it all out, because you don't know what part of that information is going to help you connect with a new potential guest. Get positive feedback. Now, that seems pretty obvious, right? You might be thinking, well, how can I get positive feedback? And the answer is, ask the right people. You know, I'm not going to ask the person who's upset to go write me a review. I'm going to ask the person that I know loves coming to our salon, that loves having me do their hair. I'm going to ask them to leave feedback and share their experience. And then lastly is promote it, right? Turn the content and things that you are getting from Yelp into more stuff, okay? So go get it, check and double check the information in your menu, talk to your VIPs, the people that already love you, and then promote it. And what I'm saying is, you know, we all have these like screen capture features. So you can use the review content from Yelp as then content for Facebook or for Twitter, right? Do it in a way that it's not a humble brag. Do it in a way that is showing your gratitude and your thankfulness to your clients for being able to do that. You know, so in this example, our stylist Natalie got her first review, which is awesome, right? That's a great thing for us. And you can see that it even got 10 likes on Facebook. So we got our Facebook crowd to engage with it because of great content coming from our Yelp page. So this has been a Form and Function social engineering webcast. I really want to thank you guys a lot for listening to these, and I really hope that you're putting them into action in your salons and helping them grow their business. If you want to connect with us more, you can do so at our website, which is ffsaloneducation.com. You can find us on Twitter or Instagram at ffsalonedu, or subscribe to us here, and keep your eyes peeled for more content and great webcasts and videos and all sorts of different stuff, and our awesome classes at our academy in Chicago. So we will share more with you soon. Thanks.